While we talk about issues facing women, I'd be remiss to not ask you about Roe. How do we strategize a way to move forward? Roe was not perfect, so is this an opportunity to do something better and enshrine women's reproductive rights into American law?
Well, I think right now it's going to be a fight to prevent the further erosion of rights in states that still provide the full range of women's reproductive health, including abortion. And that's a struggle, and it's not going to be easy. So we need to make sure that we elect governors and state legislatures that understand the importance of protecting women's rights when it comes to our bodies and our decisions, and fighting the rearguard actions by corporations like Walgreens that decided to stop providing prescriptions for the so-called abortion pill, even in states where it's still legal. I mean, this is, before we can think about, well, what more can we do? We have to preserve what's left in, slightly less than half of the states. We also need to be sure that the specific stories of women who are facing these health crises, primarily women who are miscarrying, women who find out that the fetus is suffering from terrible congenital anomalies, other kinds of problems, are given the health care they deserve to have. And I was, encouraged by the lawsuit that was just filed in Texas by 5 women who have been denied that coverage. Like, I'm sorry, yes, your fetus will die, but it still has a heartbeat. My wonderful late father had a massive stroke, and he had no brain activity, but his heart was still beating. And in fact, when we took him off life support, his heart kept beating, but he would never recover. And so this argument about heartbeat compared to everything else about human activity is very personal to me, because literally, I lived through that with, a grown man, obviously. So for me, the idea that women would be made to suffer, to possibly endanger their own health or their own life based on not medical, expertise, but political ideology is deeply troubling. So we have a lot of work to do.
We have a lot of work, and I think what troubles me is the part, what you said about we have to stop the rollbacks, because when you're fighting the rollbacks, you can't fight for progress.
That's right.
And I think some people are feeling discouraged. Do you feel like we're losing momentum on the fight part of this?
No, I don't. I mean, look, I do feel that a lot of women and men didn't take seriously the threat to Roe. And I remember back in the 2016 campaign talking about that, and people in the press and others saying, oh, come on, that'll never happen. They discount the intense opposition on the other side at their peril, as we now know. So there are lawmakers in some states who want to prohibit women from crossing state lines to seek the health care that they deserve to have. There are obviously legislators who want to end medical abortion. There are legislators who want to, really make it clear that women are secondary citizens without the autonomy and rights that we deserve. So take it seriously, because as bad as it is now, it could get worse. And for people living in states like New York or California who say, oh yeah, but I'm fine. No. National decisions like the one pending before a very extreme judge in Texas to eliminate completely access to medical abortion will affect you as well.